Wanted to know, how should parents handle all of this? Well, licensed professional counselor Amanda Owen is joining us this morning to weigh in. Thanks for being here, Amanda.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Okay, so you heard that. I mean, some things are positive, you know, less sex, right? But also they're staying in the house more. These teens aren't really socializing as much. What did you think when you heard the results of this report?
Some of it, in my practice, some of it I see, some of it I don't. I see teens still wanting to hang out with their friends, not necessarily staying at home more. They want to be on their phones when they're not with their friends, but it's not necessarily something that's keeping them in all the time.
Right. Let's talk about this link that the report found in terms of young folks being more depressed.
Sure.
The more time they spend on their phones, obviously that has some sort of connection to social media. Explain that for parents.
So a couple of trends that I see, and one of them is the link to sleep, and that's pretty well known that lack of sleep can help contribute to depression, and adults are just as guilty of this as teens, though, having their phone right by them at night and checking it before they go to bed, maybe waking up in the middle of the night and checking it again, and then first thing in the morning. And so I can see that as part of it, just not getting enough sleep because they're on their phone or they're talking most of the night to their friends. And then just with some of the social media, it's easier for teenagers to, when they're talking, something to get out of control, just a comment that normally, like if you and I were sitting here talking, it wouldn't be a big thing, but then you bring in everybody else on social media and it ends up becoming a much bigger deal, which can cause problems. Yeah,
the report talked about the depression, stress, obviously even higher suicide rates. Is there a difference between how boys use this technology versus girls?
Somewhat. Generally speaking, teenage girls, you tend to use it more in speaking with friends and hanging out. So where it becomes a problem more is when something happens and something gets blown out of proportion or it escalates faster. Whereas with teenage boys, sometimes that's an issue, but usually, at least what I see in my practice, is with boys it's more, they do tend to withdraw a little bit more, or it's different in that sense. It's more individualized.
Let's talk about advice for some parents. I have a 16-year-old nephew, and my sister says he's always locked in his room and he's on his computer and he's on his phone. He does some fun things like edits videos, so that's constructive. But what advice do you have for parents who are worried about their youngsters always being locked in their room and always attached to their phones? Sure.
Like with anything, and trying to find a balance, and so encouraging teenagers to spend some time outside of their room. I think it's a great thing for everybody to have a time where they turn in their phones for the evening and they just put that away and focus on getting ready for bed or interacting face to face, just to again have that balance.
Family time. I read like 2 hours max a day on the phone, which most kids, good luck trying to get them to spend 2 hours. Amanda, thank you so much for being with us this morning and weighing in. Let's check in with the high.